Welcome to another Stardew Valley video. In this video, I will be going over some random tips, secrets, and things that you might not have known about. Before we get started, I stream on Twitch and I'm planning to stream more regularly. If you want to catch me live, consider following me on Twitch. The link is in the description below. And if you are new to my channel, consider hitting subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, let's get started with hats. Yes, hats. Hats are amazing in this game. First of all, there are an insane amount of hats in this game to collect. To be specific, there are 94 hats in the game to collect. That's a lot of hats! Naturally, you can wear a hat like a normal person, or you can put it on your horse. It looks pretty cool. But wait, there's more. You can also put a hat on a sea urchin in your fish tank. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's pretty cool in my opinion. If you have children, you can also place hats on them as well, like a blobfish mask. Yeah, now I can tolerate my children in Stardew Valley. And lastly, you can place a hat on the alien rarecrow. This is a cool one. When you sell stuff in Stardew Valley and sleep, there's a sales summary just before the next day. Normally, the sales summary will show you how much gold you made in each category and will sum up the total at the bottom with your total earned gold for that day. However, the total summary only shows a maximum of 7 digits, meaning if you earn more than 10 million gold, it probably won't display how much money you have actually made. If you've made exactly 10 million gold on that day, it will look like you made no gold at all. I was very confused when I saw this for the first time. But this is just a small visual bug. When you continue on to the next day, your gold total will update accordingly. Now I just need to try and make 100 million gold and see what happens there, because the gold display under the clock can only show 99 million gold at once. So that will be interesting to see. Making friends in Stardew Valley is a lot of fun. It does take a lot of effort, but it is worth it because you will get to see unique heart events, and if you max out the hearts with everyone in the game, you will get achievements. But there is also one small other thing you can get when you reach 4 hearts with any villager in Stardew Valley. When you click on the social tab and then click on the character in this view, they will do a unique expression. This only works when you have at least 4 hearts with them, and some of the expressions are quite cute and some of them are predictable. Unfortunately, I haven't made many friends in Stardew Valley, so I can only show you guys these few townspeople. But now I know this exists and I really want to become friends with everyone and see all of their unique expressions. So you might have seen this one if you've played a lot of the latest 1.5 update, but you can find presents by fishing in certain locations. Most of the locations where you can find presents are quite unusual. You really have to go out of your way and intentionally fish in these places because it's just so strange and out of the way. You can find a trash can by fishing in the fountain by the community center, a squirrel figurine here by the volcano on Ginger Island, and even an iridium crobus by fishing off of the sewage pipe over here. The only way to get the iridium crobus is by making sea foam pudding using key seasoning so that you have level 15 fishing, then cast your fishing rod at the maximum possible distance. And if you want to find more, check out my video on where to find every single fishing present in the game. The link is in the description below. A ton of players get the slingshot and immediately stick it in a chest somewhere and never use it again, which is understandable because it is a little bit clunky to use and it just doesn't seem that good, especially if you're thinking of using it to defeat enemies. And that is where explosive ammo comes in. You will unlock the recipe to craft explosive ammo once you hit level 8 combat, and it costs 1 iron bar and 2 coal to craft a set of 5 explosive ammo. But why do we want to use explosive ammo? Well, it's not for defeating enemies, it's for destroying rocks and ores incredibly fast and efficiently so that you can save some time and find ladders extremely fast. This method is very effective, and once you give it a try, you might just stop using your pickaxe altogether. However, using explosive ammo doesn't change the slingshot being a bit clunky and weird to use. But once you get used to it, you'll love it. I'm pretty sure you know that with a slime incubator, you can spawn slimes in all kinds of weird and fun places. Like right in the middle of town, on the beach, and what about right in your bedroom? Well, if you are married and you decide to hatch a slime inside of your farmhouse, your spouse will give some very aggressive remarks and try to kill the poor slime. But they don't only go crazy over slimes. If you use a mod to spawn enemies right in your bedroom, your spouse will freak out and kill any enemy that you spawn. For some weird reason, this is super entertaining for me. If I didn't have other stuff to do, I could just sit here and spawn enemies and watch Abigail freak out and kill them the whole day. Actually, Abigail is so good at defeating these enemies, I wish I could take her with me into the Skull Cavern. Like, I could focus on hitting rocks and mining iridium ore, and Abigail could be my bodyguard because she seems pretty OP. That sounds like a successful Skull Cavern adventure. If you have been playing Stardew Valley for a while, you probably know this one. But for the newer players, you can duplicate jades at the crystallarium. I know it's very tempting to just duplicate diamonds and sell them for gold, but trust me, rather duplicate jades because they have one amazing use. You can trade all of your jades in the desert at the desert trader on Sundays for staircases. This is by far the easiest and most effective way to get staircases in the game. You can quite easily get hundreds of staircases, and then you can skip a bunch of levels in the Skull Cavern and get all of the iridium ore you ever dreamed about. Even if you only have a few crystallariums, you can quickly amass quite a few jades. I think I started with 3 crystallariums, and after a single trip with a couple hundred staircases, I left the Skull Cavern with close to 1000 iridium ore. And as an added bonus, you can deconstruct these staircases that you pretty much got for free for 99 stone each. Before the latest 1.5 update, there was no reliable way to get tons of stone, but with the deconstructor, you can get as much stone as we need relatively easily. This is probably one of my favorite things in this update. And lastly, there are some weird looking statues in this game that can only be found by doing very specific things. If you are not new to Stardew Valley, you probably know about these statues, but let's go over them for any new players. To get the first statue, you'll have to catch a super cucumber. They are a little bit tough to catch, and you can find them on the beach during summer and fall. Once you have caught your super cucumber, you can bring it over here by this hidden pathway just above Clint's blacksmith. In here, you will find a chest. Just place the super cucumber in the chest, and then you will get this horrible looking statue. I'm not sure where you would actually use this, but now you have it. For the next statue, you will need to get some duck mayonnaise. And that is pretty easy to get. Just get yourself a coop, buy a duck, and when your duck lays an egg, put that egg in a mayonnaise machine, and before you know it, you will have duck mayonnaise. Bring this duck mayonnaise into the Star Drop Saloon. At the back by the storeroom is a small box. Just put your duck mayonnaise into this box, and just like that, you will get another weird looking statue. Maybe this one is some fun abstract art that I just don't get, but I'm sure I will find a place for this somewhere on my farm. And lastly, you will need to get a strange bun. Finding a strange bun can be a little bit tricky, but I would recommend checking Krobus' store and the traveling merchant often and buying it from them. Once you have your strange bun, you need to enter Vincent's room and place it in the chest. Unfortunately, there's a minor problem here. You can't simply enter Vincent's room. You will have to have at least 2 hearts with Vincent in order to enter his room. So give him some gifts. And that is how you get all 3 of the unusual statues in Stardew Valley. And that's it for this video. Were there any items on this list that you didn't know about? Or are you a Stardew Valley pro and knew everything on this list? Either way, let me know in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next video.